So this first one that we're going to talk about is a submission from the mount. There's not going to really be any order to this today. We're just going to really focus in this clinic on the fundamental step-by-step approach to get you to a submission. And one of my most favorite submissions, 101, is the Americana. And it presents itself all the time when you get to a mount position like this. Usually a principle to jiu-jitsu is that your elbows should never leave your sides, right? And if a person learns that fundamental truth in jiu-jitsu, that our elbows are as if they're glued to our sides, but we can still use our hands to protect our face and head and grab things, it makes it difficult for the attacker then to try to get an Americana, which is exactly the idea. So one thing that I like to do is, instead of just using force on force, where again, it's this hand pushing this hand to the ground, we can use our body weight to help do this as well. So we come in, I create a monkey grip at the end of the lever, right? Think about this like a lever. Get my arm in here on the inside of the elbow and use my body weight to get that to the ground. From here, we're just gonna 2-on-1 pin this hand. Throw all of the other scenario bases out of this for today. We're just talking about the technique to complete this move, and that's it. We don't care that you might have a knife in this hand or that you could punch me. We're just focused on the technique. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. So again, starting from somebody who's really doing a good job of keeping their limbs glued to their body, I need to use my leverage to get in and force a limb to the ground. I can use two hands to hold this here at first. This technique is performed with a monkey grip. A monkey grip is thumb connected to the four fingers, not a C grip. The other hand, palm down, slides under the elbow and up and onto my wrist, making a figure 4. At this point, I've got a pretty good key lock hold on this arm. I now want to make sure that I bring my elbow closest to the head, almost making their head move away. Notice how that moves the arm and the shoulder joint in close to the body. It isn't uncommon in a person who's got a really stiff shoulder joint to begin to feel discomfort in this next move, because the next move is what I call a reverse motorcycle. And a reverse motorcycle is just like, on a gas for the motorcycle, you go backwards. Reverse, you're gonna bring your wrist up on both sides. This would be considered a reverse motorcycle. Notice how it turns his whole radial ulna bone out and lifts the elbow up. It's at this point that we're gonna begin to drag the the top of his hand like a paintbrush down the length of the mat. And that's the whole focus. The elbow will automatically lift up because I'm trying to keep the back of the hand flat on the mat. So in order to do that and never let the top of his hand off the mat, it's automatically gonna bring his elbow up into the Americana submission. So one more time from start to finish. We start here. I choose an arm. I use my body weight to pin it to the ground, and my elbow drops right to his ear. Monkey grip right here on his wrist. Other hand, palm down, slides under his elbow and up to my wrist. At this point, I bring my elbow in tight to his ear, reverse motorcycle, and now I paint the floor with the top of his hand. And that's the Americana.